Hi everyone, my name is Sandra Mitichetti and today I will be going over symbiosis. We're going to cover 4 topics in this video. Symbiotic relationships, which are mutualism, commensalism, and parasitism, and examples of mutualism, examples of commensalism, and examples of parasitism. First up, we have mutualism. Mutualism is an interaction between different organisms where all the species benefit. Some facts about mutualism is that the species benefit by working together. It helps both of them survive. Examples of mutualism are the zebra and oxpecker bird, bees and flowers, and bacteria and humans. So I will be explaining 2 of these 3 examples. I will not be explaining the bee and flower, but I can tell you about it right now. So how does the bee benefit? A bee pollinates the flower. So a bee goes to a flower for its nectar and it makes honey. It's food for the bee. So that's how the bee benefits. How does the flower benefit? When bees hop on from one flower to another, they pollinate them. And this can lead to the flowers reproducing, making seeds, and creating more flowers. Next, we have commensalism. Commensalism is an interaction where one organism benefits and the other doesn't benefit and isn't harmed. Some facts about commensalism is that examples of commensalism, they're often related to movement or transportation. They're related to transportation or housing needs. Examples of commensalism is the shark and remora and the whales and barnacles. Next, we have parasitism. Parasitism is an interaction where one organism benefits and the other is harmed. Parasites rarely kill their hosts because they live off of their hosts. If they were to kill their hosts, they wouldn't receive the nutrients or food that they get from their host. Parasites can live on their hosts or inside of their hosts. Examples of parasites living on their hosts are dogs and fleas. Examples of parasites living inside their hosts are tapeworms and animals. Next, we have examples of mutualism. 2 examples here, the zebra and oxpecker bird and humans and bacteria. What happens for a zebra and oxpecker bird is the zebra is walking around on a plane, for example, and an oxpecker bird lands on the zebra. What the oxpecker bird does is that it eats pests off of the zebra, and in return, the oxpecker bird gets food and it gets a free ride because wherever the zebra goes, the oxpecker bird goes. How does the zebra benefit? Well, it gets pests eaten off of itself. Next, we have humans and bacteria. Bacteria can live in the guts of humans or intestines of humans, and much more. How do bacteria benefit? Bacteria benefit by receiving food. Bacteria help in digestion and help fight off infections. So this is how the humans benefit. You may be wondering, how do the bacteria get food? Shouldn't this be an example of commensalism? Because how do they get food? Well, I'll tell you. So when bacteria help humans digest their food, they actually eat some of the food themselves, which is how bacteria benefit. Next, we have commensalism examples. 2 examples here once again, shark and remora and whales and barnacles. So these small fish over here underneath the shark are actually remora, and for the whales and barnacles, they're like a bunch of crusty things, I guess you could say, on the barnacles, on the whale, sorry, and those like crusty things are the barnacles. Back to shark and remora. The shark doesn't benefit at all. And let's remind ourselves what commensalism is. Commensalism is an interaction where one organism benefits and the other isn't harmed and doesn't benefit. So here the shark has no benefits, but the remora do. The remora gets food and they get a free ride. So remora actually, they're like these tiny fish and they have like sucker discs on their heads that helps them attach to things. So they basically attach to anything that's bigger than them. And a funny story is that remora, like for example, if you were going scuba diving and there was remora nearby, they could also attach to you because you're bigger than them. Back to the shark and remora. So the remora attached to the shark, they get a free ride because similar to the zebra and oxpecker bird, wherever the shark goes, the remora goes. And the remora also get food. How is this? When the shark eat, scraps of food often fall under or near the shark. So the remora just eat those scraps as their food. Next, we have whales and barnacles. So once again, since this is commensalism, whales don't benefit, but the barnacles do. Barnacles get food and they get a free ride because once again, similar to the shark and remora, the barnacles are on top of the whale and barnacles are filter feeders. And this means that they just filter in the water and they eat the microorganisms inside of the water. So as the whale swims by, the barnacles on top of the whale, they filter through the water and they get food and they even get a free ride. That's a pretty good relationship if you were to ask me. Next, last but not least, we have parasitic examples. And here, there are two examples. Over here, sorry, it isn't labeled, but over here is the mosquito and human. And to the right is the human and tapeworm. So I'm sure you all know what mosquitoes do to humans. They bite them or they suck their blood. No one likes that. So human disadvantages is they get an itchy bug bite, obviously. And there's actually a chance of disease. You see, there can be microscopic things living inside of the salivary glands of mosquitoes. So when they bite us, that organism or causing organism transmits into the human, and there is a chance of disease. How does the mosquito benefit? The mosquito gets food, or shall I say a drink, and it uses our blood to lay its eggs. Next, we have the tapeworm, which is over here, and the human. So tapeworms actually live inside of the intestines of human. The thing is, because tapeworms don't actually have a digestive system, they don't have a system that absorbs the nutrients, which is why they live in our intestine, which already has absorbed nutrients, and it basically feeds on those. So humans actually have a lot more disadvantages than these four listed. Humans lose weight, they're weak, they're dizzy, and they lose their appetite whenever they're infected with a tapeworm. And there's actually much more side effects of tapeworms. And how does a tapeworm benefit? Well, it gets food, obviously. So I actually found this really cool image on the internet, and it actually explains symbiotic relationships really well through just images. So here we have mutualism because it shows two faces that's benefiting. And it even shows examples like sea anemone and clownfish. So clownfish actually live inside of the sea anemone. So clownfish get shelter, while the sea anemone feeds on the food brought in by this clownfish or the droppings of it. Next, we have commensalism. One species benefits and the other is unaffected. It doesn't benefit and isn't harmed. And that is the whale and barnacles, like I explained to you before. Next is parasitism. One benefits and the other is harmed. And an example of that is the dog and the flea. Well, I hope you enjoyed my video. I would encourage you all to please like and subscribe, and I will see you all in another video. Bye.